getting back into getting the feeling of a win again. It's kind of cathartic against Dover, especially that was such a up and down game, and back and forth game that the kids had some energy going into the Nashua North game, and I think it's a team that we've been competitive with for the last couple of years, and kind of getting near the end of the season, it was kind of like let's get going here, and the boys came out with great energy. Warm ups were solid, and.
I think going into that game, our team had a lot of confidence, especially our offense, because we put a lot of goals in the net against Dover. It might have been all 8 of them might have been one person, but we felt confident in everyone's ability to move the ball around and get a shot off. Because even in the Dover game, other people were getting shots off and stuff. It wasn't just one person, but in that game, I think we started off hot. I think I scored in the first couple minutes of the game, and I was feeling good. Jackson was feeling good. We felt good with the meaty matchups. Declan felt good. So we were all feeling pretty confident in our ability to score goals. Definitely felt good, because I think that was our highest scoring game, and I think almost everybody that started an offense had a goal. So I feel like that's really important. If you can get everybody a goal, that means they can't cover one person. Everyone's a threat. So I mean, having the ball movement and us scoring that fast and stuff like that, it definitely was good. Yeah, no, we probably want those games early in the seasons, so we could win a couple more. But I mean, just to show people that we aren't a team that is just out of it all the time. So we can be a good team. It's just we didn't end up putting the puzzle together this year, but maybe next year those guys can do it.
Something that I think I've said it before, but you kind of wish you started playing your best lacrosse a little sooner. I know as the game was going on, Tommy he's like, I think we had 5 different goal scorers in the first 6 goals. I think at some point we had 6 or 7 different goal scorers in that game, which, was kind of the picture we were hoping to see all year, and, as a coach, that's something that to be proud about and to look back on is, we did improve, especially when you're going against similar competition. The near end of our schedule was we had some really, really great opponents. I mean, we played a bunch of playoff teams in that last stretch of the season. So we played well against them, weren't able to get the W's, but, I think seeing our kids play such great lacrosse in that game was, a good moment to know that, hey, we've done a good job this year. Maybe we could have done a little bit better, but we've done a good job this year to get the kids in the right positions.
I definitely think, if we had a couple of those harder games at the beginning, just even because if we played good against those teams, which I feel like we did the past couple of weeks, we played good against them. If we had that at the beginning of the season and we played good against them, that would have gave us confidence going into other games. But also, on the other hand, if we don't play good and we lose, 22-2 or something like that, it might discourage some of our guys. But I mean, to me, the schedule doesn't really matter when we play who, when, what, where. We just got to, play a full game. And we started doing that towards the end of the season, but it was a little late. But I mean, to end my career off with a couple good wins, it felt good.
I'm a simple guy. I've kind of, when it comes to senior night, I've budged a little bit on getting the posters for the kids and all that stuff. But, I think for me, it's being able to just tell the players that I appreciate everything that they've done, and be able to let them know how awesome it's been to see them grow.
Yeah, I'd say I'm putting it off. I mean, it'll be my last ever high school sport. I am going on to play college, but this is my last high school senior night. But other than that, I don't really feel any other type of way about it. I'm excited to move on. I've had fun my past 4 years, learned a lot. So, yeah.
It's definitely crazy that 4 years have flown by like that, I played 3 years on varsity. I started since sophomore year, so it's definitely surreal that I'm going to play my last lacrosse game next week. But it's been fun. We've had up and downs, but I wouldn't rather do it anywhere else or with any other team. I love these guys. I love the school, but it's definitely a crazy feeling. But I've already been through it with football, so I kind of know what to expect. But to know that I'll never play a high school sport again is definitely something to think about, and it's a crazy feeling.
Myself, a little bit. It's my last year playing a sport, pretty much competitively, probably ever. I'm not going to college myself. So for myself, it'll be like, it would be kind of a little bit sad to see, especially for my parents. That's how they were on senior night for soccer. They were really, their son, they're old. Well, I have a younger brother, but I'm the oldest. They're sending me off kind of like it's the last thing I'm doing. But I can imagine for the other guys, it's a lot worse or a lot more sad for them because they've been playing lacrosse for 4 years, or even like give or take around that, or even more. And this is their last sport too. Maybe some of them are going to play college. Some of them might not be, but for them, it'll probably be a lot worse than it is for me, just because this is my first year playing lacrosse. But so it's a little sad to see that this will be my last time playing a sport, pretty much competitively.
For football, it didn't really hit me till a few weeks after, and I was like, damn, I miss it, and I'm never going to be able to play with these kids again. But I don't think lacrosse will be as bad. I definitely will miss it, but just not as bad as football.
Yeah, honestly, I think there'll be definitely some emotions, not as much as football, but there'll definitely be some because there's how much I put into the sport, any sport I play, I put in everything I can. So there's definitely those strings attached to the sport, and with the people I play it with. Dean Off, one of my favorite coaches I've ever had. So having those people around me, and then leaving, and the school, everything like that, just leaving that is definitely, there's gonna be some emotions. Yeah, I haven't played the sport for a long time, maybe 4 or 5 years, but it's ending your career like that is definitely. It's going to be emotional.
And I always like when we do the ceremony, again, very simple. Who are they going to walk out with, and what are their plans for after college? And for me, or after high school, for me, it's neat to see what these guys are going to go do, especially the guys that at least have a plan. When the guys that don't have a plan, maybe we have to have a conversation, get to know, hey, what are you trying to lean towards? And for some of these guys, I try to tell them, I was a biology major. I went to school thinking I was going to be a doctor, and now I'm an athletic director and coach. And, I hope that they enjoy that moment. I don't think it needs to be anything gigantic. I think for me, it's simple. It's showing appreciation for, what they have done as athletes for us, what they have done as young men, and to thank them. Because, again, coaching is one thing, being able to go out there and do the X's and O's and teach drills, but it's really about interacting with the kids, and I get the most out of seeing the growth that they of being proud, and not so that much that, me as a coach did everything in their life. I know that's not true, but to see young men grow from the freshmen that they were, and maybe in their actions, their athletic ability, their commitment, like all the things that we get to see as coaches, to see them all grow and see that kind of culminating moment. You kind of have to take a chance to reflect on that and remember, like, oh wow, this kid's made a big jump, or this kid's made such an improvement in this part of his game or life that is awesome to see. And as a coach, you kind of want to think that you might have had a small part in that. Definitely not the biggest thing. I think parents and all that stuff obviously they're going to have the greatest influence. But I say to the coaches here at Memorial as the athletic coordinator, it's we've got a chance to make an impact on kids' lives, and if you can see a little bit of that impact, I think that's tremendous. And I mean, we had a bunch of 3-year players and 4-year players that have become great young men. Still teenagers, still got some edge to them a little bit, but it's definitely cool to see. It's kind of a closing of a chapter. It's my first couple years here, like when senior classes left, I hadn't had them for 4 years, and it was like, I wish I had more time with them. I wish I got to be their coach a little bit longer. That's still in this group, being my second 4-year group. Like, there's still a bit of that, but you kind of know, like, all right, this is their time to go on to the next challenge in their life, and whether it's the trade school or going to play collegiate sports or just going to college in general, like it's a next chapter for them, and that's part of their development. And it's less like I don't want them to go. It's proud of what and happy for what has happened here and the time I've got to spend with them. I've had some really great relationships with these kids, so look forward to keeping tabs on them as they go about their future. But sense of pride, sense of just joy and happiness for them.
It's definitely emotional, because a lot of the guys that are seniors this year, I've played football with for 4 years. I played lacrosse with them for 4, maybe 2 years because they came out the past couple of years. But I mean, it was definitely emotional to see everyone, ending their careers. And for me, I probably won't ever play another competitive sport again unless I do like a men's league or something. But I mean, it's definitely bittersweet. I felt like football, we had a great season. That was a lot of fun. This year, I didn't think we had a terrible season. I feel like we were a good team. We just couldn't put the pieces together. I mean, there isn't any other team I'd rather do it with. I mean, I love these guys. I love this school. I mean, there's nowhere else I'd rather do it. So I mean, it was definitely an emotional day. But we came out. We didn't play an amazing game, but we played a pretty good game. So I mean, to end the season, however we ended it, it was a pretty good season for me.
Love it.
was just, it didn't really click yet for me that, I was never going to play lacrosse again. I mean, it was definitely weird because, I of course want to win my game on senior night, but that something about the game just felt weird. Like, it wasn't really chippy. It wasn't really but I feel like we played good in the first half. The second half, we slipped a little bit like normal, but the game felt different to me. It felt, a little bit slower and stuff like that, but it ended how it ended. I don't know.
We, as a coaching staff, after the game on Wednesday versus Merrimack, went out and we talked and we kind of reflected on, it had been 5 years and most of the guys have been with us for 4 years as coaches. And, we've had some ups and downs as a program, but, the things that I think we're doing really well and that I wouldn't change and would argue we're doing it better than anybody else is bringing this game to more kids. And teaching them, again, like we always say, it's Tommy and Marcus come up with some high level stuff we want to try to do. And I don't know if we're there yet. Let's get the basics down. And to me, I say this to every kid I try to recruit to come play. It's I've never had a kid come out and play a full season of lacrosse and sit there and go, that was dumb. I didn't want to do that. They always say that's the funnest thing I've ever done. I wish I did.
I've been saying that every time, ever since the season started. I've been saying to myself, I really wish I played last year. I wish I, started it maybe even earlier than that, or just I wish I played last year and started my junior year. That way I still had a higher understanding of the sport. But so this is the one thing I always say to myself, I should have started last year with my buddies. I play soccer in the fall, so I played all 4 years. After that, I'm I'm done sports. I'm gonna work and just save up money until high school's done, and just kind of chill out for now. And then my buddies were talking to me last year about playing lacrosse, and I didn't play last year because I wanted to work instead. And I was just really burnt out from work because that was the main thing I did. I worked most of the week and all that type of stuff. So I wanted to change up the pace, and I was just really burnt out. I'm all right, I'm done. I'm stop working for now, and I'm gonna try lacrosse because my buddies are always talking about hey, it's really fun. You should come play. And so that's kind of why I played. I was burnt out from work, and I was looking for something to change it up. And lacrosse was going on, and my buddies were playing. I was well, me and my buddies have never all played the same sport because two of my buddies play football. Me and my other buddy play soccer, so we're always never on the same team, I guess. So being on the same team all at once is a new experience for us, and it's fun.
100% think everyone should play lacrosse. If you're not playing another spring sport and you have nothing to do in the spring, go out and play. It's definitely really, really fun. It's challenging, which I like a lot, but it's one of those sports that you have to have a brotherhood, and that with the brotherhood strong, it's going to be fun. And our team was a lot of fun, and the sport is just a lot of fun. I wish I started sooner, but I think it's one of the best sports in the world. Football is definitely my number one, but lacrosse is probably a close number 2, maybe 3, but I think it's one of the best sports, and I think everyone should experience it at some point. If you don't play it competitively, but maybe go out and get a stick and throw around with your friends. But no matter what, I think it's a fun sport.
Tommy O'Rourke, Marcus Sutton, Kevin Hafman, Ryan Bannon, Sebastian Patello, those guys have done a great job of being not only mentors, but teaching the game and bringing the game and making the kids excited to play the game. I wish we could run some a little bit more effective sets, be a little bit more creative, maybe have some high level, clear game or ride game or whatever, but maybe substitute a lot cleaner. But I think every single year I start off very frustrated with how the season goes, regardless. Just more upset with myself and how I can be as a coach and what could I have done to make this team better. I just hope that's there, but I think just happy that, before the Merrimack game, I had every kid in the program in the locker room where we asked them, how many of you guys have never played lacrosse before high school? It's 30 kids. We have 34 on the roster. and so many of them are, not going to be all state. They're not going to be all conference. They're not going to be whatever. They're probably not going to go play college lacrosse. There's a few that hopefully might, but they all love it. It's they love playing it. They love showing up every day. They love improving. And it's just cool to see that joy and happiness that they're excited for lacrosse season, and it's something other that they can do. So for me as a coaching staff, and this is actually my last year, stepping away. Seeing the kids, just seeing all the kids that we've been able to get come out, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, that have never played the sport before, and take up that challenge, especially in Division I for the last 3 years, where you're going against some really, really good programs or some really elite kids that they don't get this. They get discouraged as any other kid does when a season's tough, but they don't get discouraged in playing the game and having fun and going out there to do their best every single day. So.
I think a lot of it is, mental toughness. We haven't always been the greatest team, but I mean, if you just kind of forget about the score and forget about the losses and stuff and just play the next opponent, you carry that into life. I mean, you're going to have bad things happen in your life. If you can just push through it and keep playing, then, I mean, you could be able to do almost anything. But, playing here definitely teaches you there's a culture. And the culture is, we're a brotherhood. We got to stick together. And I feel like that's what our team does. We don't really point fingers and stuff like that. But, I mean, playing here at this school for any sport is like that. We're all real tough kids. We're real gritty because that's how it is in Manchester. But that's probably the biggest takeaway is just having that mental toughness and that adversity is going to come, and no matter what, you got to overcome it.
Coach Tommy O'Rourke's going to take over. He's been with me for 4 years. He's the brains. He's been mostly the brains of the operation. I've been the operation. He's been the brains. And him and Marcus Sutton are going to really take the reins of the program. I feel like it's in a good spot that we've developed something that I was talking with Again, we were out with the coaches, and actually one of my coaches, Sebastian Patello, was a lacrosse player here before I took over, and one of my coach's sons, Braden Haveman, was a player here before I took over, and then was on on the team for a couple of years, and they said some nice things about again, it's kids actually want to play lacrosse. There's some type of system here, some type of program here that is developing kids to understand the game in an effective way, play the game in an effective way. And, I think that's probably something I'm most proud of and why I'm okay with stepping away. I wear many hats, and trying to wear this many hats is a little much. And I know, the guys that are still on staff that are going to take over are going to do a really good job, and they're going to lead this next group of kids through. And and I've told them I'm not going to be a stranger. I'll probably be at practices, and as I said, by the time spring rolls around, I'll probably be an assistant coach and helping out because I can't stay away.
Us 11 guys, there's maybe 6 or 7 that have played for 3 or more years that have really played a lot of varsity time. Those guys, a couple of them came out this year and played, or last year and played. But I think we helped instill that toughness and that grittiness and teach the guys that no matter what, you got to just go out and give it your all, because every other team you play, they're still high school kids. They can make the same mistakes you can. No matter how long they've played lacrosse, they can still lose to you. So if they can keep that, and then just you just got to change and adapt to the new coaching. But we've had Tommy around forever. We love Tommy. He's a good coach. Having him for offense was a lot of fun. But I think he'll take where Dinoff left off and just keep pushing the team, and he'll definitely lead them just as well as Dinoff does.
The senior night game, we had about 10 or 11 alumni that came back, and they had heard that I had told the team that was going to be my last game, and it was pretty neat. That was a good reflection moment, kind of going back to some of the other questions you asked today, being able to reflect on what I look for at the end of every year. I think that's it. I never went back to my high school lacrosse team or football team for that matter to go visit while I was coming home from college. It just rarely happened. I maybe did it once, but it's neat that we have a lot of guys that come back to practices, that come back to games, and I think that's, for me, when I think about the job that my coaching staff and I have done, that's the best part, is that kids want to come back and want to be a part of it and say they want to coach when they get done college and be a part. It's just cool to see guys that want to continue the traditions that we set. And I'm excited to see where the Kings go with Tommy and Marcus leading the way.